charges after a drug bust in Irondale, and one of them is a popular social media influencer. 21-year-old Marquez Holmes is charged with 2 counts of drug trafficking and possession charges. Holmes has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
Yo, what's good? It's your boy Cristo. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. And I'm back with another video. Yo, from today, we got that man V2 Central. And we got that man how MK Slat went from comedian to kingpin. Out that beat. Ooh. Yeah, I mean, it does but hit the subscribe button. Now, right to the video and see what MK Slat did, the comedian, boy. Cause that man, you like, stupid.
From making the internet laugh with to getting caught up in federal raids and running a fentanyl operation, MK Slat's story is one of the wildest flips the social media world has ever seen. Before the viral videos, the jokes, and the skits, he was Markel Holmes, a kid from Alabama, where you either make money, get clout, or get caught slipping and end up a pack. But how does someone go from posting goofy-ass skits online to becoming a headline in a federal investigation? And was this downfall something he saw coming, or was it all?
Hey man, I'm gonna pop a video. I'm gonna say this. Y'all feel me? Remember, social media is, you feel me, fake. You feel me? At the end of the day, it's something that they portray. At the end of the day, bro probably was already slinging, you know, little dopey dope. You feel me? I probably already doing that on the back end anyway. You feel me? So he just got bigger and bigger. You know, as his social media went up more, he just got more moolah to go and bringing that new more than to go ahead and put the more packs out. That's all what he did. Just put more packs out. He just continued doing the same thing he was already doing. He was just funny with it. That's all what it is, y'all. He was there was nothing new under the sun. Cause at the end of the day, if he was doing it like that, then he should have just made a very better investment. You feel me? He had to already have been doing that. Cause at the end of the day, if I was blowing up, I would not go back there and go sell some packs. We finna go for some business, real business. Or if you're gonna do that, at least go the legal way. But you feel me? He didn't do that.
Caught on camera before anyone even realized? Just look at bro. He's the last person I would expect to be running a whole drug ring. Today we're breaking down everything about MK Slat, the rise, the laughs, the empire, and the chaos that followed.
You, the small one, bring your leg here. It's my yard. Hey, you want to check with me, homie? You get shake, homie. Straight up.
Before MK Slat ever went viral, before anybody knew his face from Instagram skits or TikTok clips, he was just Markel Holmes, a regular YN growing up in Alabama, in an environment that didn't exactly hand out many exits. Alabama isn't Hollywood. It's not Atlanta. It's not LA. It's low-key a shithole. It's the type of place where everybody knows everybody, police move quietly, and opportunities feel limited unless you're willing to leave or hustle. From a young age, MK was surrounded by the same pressures a lot of kids from the hood deal with. Money problems, street influence, and that constant push to grow up fast. There wasn't much room for being just a kid for too long. You either adapt, crash out, or find something that separates you.
Yeah, boy.
And for MK, that something was personality. People who knew him early on described him as loud, animated, always joking, always acting out scenes.
These the same size as my... These are the same size.
Hey!
Yep. He wasn't the biggest, wasn't the toughest, but he knew how to command attention. In school and around the neighborhood, he was that dude cracking jokes, exaggerating stories, imitating people, basically turning everyday hood situations into comedy. That's important because comedy for MK wasn't just entertainment, it was survival. When you grow up around chaos, laughing at it becomes a coping mechanism. Instead of talking about trauma directly, you joke through it. Instead of showing fear, you turn it into a skit. That's how a lot of YNs move. Humor becomes armor, but at the same time, MK wasn't growing up in a bubble. He still saw the street side early. He still watched older dudes getting money the fast way. He still saw guns, drugs, and respect tied to image. So even while he was the funny one, he was still absorbing the same environment.
Like, that's what I was saying. He just had two personalities when it comes to it. You feel me? He was funny, but he also had streets. I tell you, he was already. It was already there. It was there before he even. That's the only reason why he became a comedian. Basically, that's all he does. That's it. From all that Trump product that he seen when he was younger, he just started acting it out and doing stupid stuff with it to make it content. And then it just blow, and then bro just had did hit one too. Boop boop boop. I'm telling you, that's exactly what happened.
Learning what gets you attention, what gets you respect, and what gets you labeled as him in the hood. And that's where things start getting tricky. Because when you grow up somewhere that doesn't separate entertainment from real life, sometimes the line gets blurry. The jokes start sounding like confessions. The skits start mirroring reality. And before you realize it, you're not just making fun of the lifestyle anymore, you're living inside it. At this stage, MK Slat wasn't famous yet. He wasn't rich. He wasn't on the radar. But the foundation was already there. A kid from a rough environment, a natural performer, in a world that rewards attention more than direction. And once the internet entered the picture, everything changed.
I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing.
When MK Slat first touched the internet, it wasn't on no industry timing, no management, no rollout, no plan. It was just a YN with a phone, Wi-Fi, and a sense of humor that felt too real to ignore.
Nah,
His
for
skits
real.
didn't look polished, and that's exactly why they worked. MK wasn't doing scripted comedy like some influencer trying to be clean for brands. He was recreating real hood moments, the dumb arguments, the over-the-top reactions, the crash-out characters everybody recognizes from their block. The type of skits where you watching like, nah bro, I know somebody exactly like this. That authenticity made him different. While a lot of comedians online were exaggerating fake situations, MK was exaggerating real energy. Same slang, same facial expressions, same chaotic vibe. And because he grew up in it, it didn't feel forced, it felt natural. The algorithm loved that. Clips started circulating fast on Instagram and TikTok. One skit thing you know, MK Slat isn't just funny, he's recognizable. People quoting his lines, pages reposting him without credit, comments full of, this too real, and bro funny as hell. And for the first time, MK had something most YNs
for
from his
sure.
environment don't get early on. Attention that paid. Views turned into followers,
Anyway,
followers
guys.
turned into money, and money turned into validation. That part is important. Because when you grow up broke or stressed, money doesn't just feel good, it feels like proof. Proof that you made it. Proof that you're doing something right. Proof that you're smarter than the system that tried to box you in. But the internet also comes with pressure. Once MK got known for a certain type of humor, street humor, crash out humor, switch jokes, drug jokes, that's what the audience expected. And every time he posted, he had to outdo the last one. So the skits started getting louder. The characters started getting wilder. The lines between parody and reality started thinning. At first, nobody saw it as dangerous. It was just jokes, just content. But slowly, his online persona stopped being a character and started becoming an identity. The same energy that made people laugh also started shaping how people saw him and how he saw himself. MK Slat was no longer just a funny dude from Alabama. He was the crash-out comedian, the exaggerated hood stereotype, the internet version of somebody who lives reckless. And the more the audience rewarded that image, the harder it became to separate it from real life. By this point, MK was winning, views were up, money was coming in, clout was real. But beneath the jokes, the environment never changed. And that's where the danger really started. At some point, the internet stopped laughing with MK Slat and started watching him closely. Because if you go back and really study the content, there was a shift. Not all at once, but enough that people who were paying attention could feel it. The skits didn't just reference street life anymore. They started flexing it. Jokes about switches turned into videos with real guns in the background.
Oh, I
Funny
remember that part.
exaggerations turned into imagery that felt less like parody and more like proof.
What going on? What happened, bitch?
Man, the boy had got the bump and the boy ended up hit me.
Who all the one?
Bro, let's hear them.
Yo.
Yo. Man, I don't know who the other nigga was, boy.
Got to have the better clip.
And the character that once felt cartoonish started looking uncomfortably real. That's usually how it goes. When somebody grows up around a lifestyle, makes jokes about it, and then gets rewarded for those jokes, the brain starts mixing signals. The audience thinks it's entertainment. The creator starts thinking it's branding. And branding comes with expectations. MK's comments section changed. Instead of just laughing, people started hyping the image. He really liked that. This ain't just skits. Bro living what he rapping. That type of validation is dangerous, especially for a young dude who's still figuring himself out. Because now you're not just being funny. You're being watched as a representation.
Nah,
and
for real.
instead of stepping back, MK leaned into it. The tattoos started stacking up, including the infamous emoji-style ink that people clowned at first, then questioned later. His appearance got more aggressive. His music leaned darker. His visuals got louder. Parking lots, weapons, crash-out energy everywhere. To the internet, it looked like an aesthetic. To law enforcement, it looked like evidence. And that's the part a lot of creators don't understand. The internet never forgets, and the feds don't care about jokes.
They don't.
Every post is a timestamp. Every video is a snapshot. Every just playing moment becomes context later. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, MK wasn't just a content creator anymore. He was moving in circles that didn't match the image of a comedian who had something to lose. And once you're known, you don't get the luxury of moving recklessly.
Man, that man was already doing it, man. Come on, man. Anyway, go on the camera, but anyway, hop on the camera, do. Anyway, hop on the camera and do that, y'all. Bro, I'm telling y'all, they even go. Bro, I'm telling y'all, even hop for the camera and do some stupid mess, bro. I'm telling y'all. Stupid ass. But I'm telling y'all, behind closed doors, that's where the real mess going on. Y'all know what people doing behind closed doors, man. Y'all all remember that. You remember? No one know what you do behind closed doors. Remember that now?
Quietly, that's where the first real danger signs pop up. Because when the persona you're selling online matches what investigators are already watching in real life,
Facts.
the internet stops being a stage and starts being a paper trail.
Paper.
Most fans didn't watch it. They just kept scrolling. But the shift had already happened. The comedian was still there, but now he was sharing space with something heavier, something riskier, something that didn't disappear when the camera cut off. And the moment the character became reality, the countdown had already started. At this point, MK wasn't just joking about drugs or switches anymore. He was around people who were really in it, people who didn't see the internet as a joke and definitely didn't see it as a shield. The more he leaned into that lifestyle, the more reckless the optics became. Guns in videos, aggressive music, visuals that look less like comedy and more like statements. And here's the part a lot of YNs don't think about. When you're already known, everything you do hits harder. Police don't need rumors, they need patterns. And MK's pattern was loud. To law enforcement, this wasn't a comedian acting wild for views. It was someone with visibility repeatedly placing himself around illegal activity, posting it publicly, and daring the system to ignore it. That's when bigger eyes start watching. Federal eyes don't move fast, they move quiet. They collect, they wait, they build. When real life showed up. By the time MK Slat's name was ringing online, his real life was moving in a completely different direction, one that didn't care about views, followers, or viral skits. Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Fame doesn't remove you from your environment. It just puts a spotlight on it.
Bro.
And MK never really left. While the internet still saw him as the funny YN playing character, people close to the situation say his lifestyle was starting to line up a little too well with the image he was posting. The same slang, the same references, the same energy, except now it wasn't just for content. This is usually how it happens. You get money, but not enough to fully separate. You get clout, but not enough to relocate. You get attention, but not enough protection.
Okay.
So instead of leaving the environment, you start mixing roles. Comedian online, street dude offline, and that's a dangerous balance. And by the time the internet started clowning MK for being too extra, the investigation was already deeper than anyone realized. Because while fans were laughing and critics were calling it self-snitching, street life doesn't care if you're famous. It only cares if you're involved. And once those two worlds fully collided, there was no way out that didn't end ugly. The raid wasn't random. The charges weren't sudden. They were the result of time, attention, and a lifestyle that got documented too well. And when the knock finally came, it came heavy. In December 2023, everything MK Slat had been building online and offline came to a hard stop. Early in the morning, around 7 a.m., multiple law enforcement agencies pulled up to a residence in Irondale, Alabama to execute a search warrant connected to an ongoing narcotics investigation. This wasn't a random bust. This wasn't local cops acting on a tip. This was coordinated. According to official reports, the operation involved the Leeds Police Department, the Irondale Police Department, and later drew attention from federal agencies, including the ATF and Homeland Security. Inside the residence, officers took multiple individuals into custody, including MK Slat real name Markel Demetrius Holmes, along with several associates. What they allegedly found is what changed everything. Police reported recovering multiple firearms, including Glocks, equipment used to convert semi-automatic weapons into fully automatic firearms, commonly known as switches, illegal narcotics, including fentanyl, amphetamine, drug packaging materials, and paraphernalia. According to authorities, the residence was allegedly being used as a drug packaging and just.
What I tell y'all, he was already doing it. He got that money and he went and stacked it up. He went and stacked it up. Joe happy. Ooh, regular story, nothing different. Same mess. Keep telling y'all, nothing new on the sun. All what money do is expose what people already been doing behind the scenes. That's all what it is. So if you watch people when they get money, what they start to doing is they was already like that. Money just amplifies it. That's all what it's doing. They been like that. They been thought like that. They been did all that mess. Come on now. Money don't change nobody. Money exposes y'all.
Distribution location, not just a place people were hanging out. That distinction matters because possession is one thing, trafficking is another, and modifying firearms pushes it into a whole different category. Law enforcement publicly stated that the scale of what was recovered suggested organized activity, not personal use. That's when the narrative officially shifted from internet comedian arrested to something much more serious.
Muriel Bailey here at the live desk. 5 people face charges after a drug bust in Irondale, and one of them is a popular social media influencer. 21-year-old Marquez Holmes is charged with 2 counts of drug trafficking and possession charges. Holmes has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube and thousands on TikTok, known to many as Slimeball MK. 4 others face drugs and weapons charges as well. Police say they found fully automatic weapons, drugs, and stolen property during a search warrant at a house in Irondale.
The bond amounts told the story before the internet even caught up. Some defendants were hit with bonds in the hundreds of thousands. MK Slat himself was reportedly given a multi-million-dollar bond. That's not normal. Once firearms with switches are involved, the federal government doesn't treat it lightly. A single switch can carry mandatory prison time on the federal level. Combine that with narcotics trafficking, and suddenly the situation goes from state trouble to career-ending consequences. While the internet was still trying to figure out what happened, the system was already moving. This wasn't a content moment. This wasn't a headline that fades in a week. This was the type of case that changes lives permanently. And as news spread, fans started realizing something uncomfortable. The jokes didn't protect him, the clout didn't slow it down, and the internet didn't help it hurt. Because now every old post looks different. Every skit, every flex, and every visual. All of it became context. MK Slat's story isn't rare, it's just public. It shows how fast clout can turn into a trap. How self-snitching doesn't feel dangerous when the algorithm rewards it, and how the system doesn't care if you were just joking. Once the persona controls you, the ending usually isn't yours to write. If you a YN, a creator, or anybody chasing attention, understand this. The internet never forgets, and the streets don't care who you are online.
Nah, facts. Nah, no one cares. So y'all feel me? Y'all do what y'all gotta do. Y'all be aware of what y'all doing. Y'all understand that if y'all is doing something bad, that you better go ahead and find something to do better. Find something that will change and try to do best for yourself. You feel me? Just find stuff that you feel me, that you don't ruin your life and others around you. Cause at the end of the day, if he didn't do all that, he still could have got his folks out. But he did what he did. You feel me? So unaware. You feel me? Lost it all. So you feel me? Y'all be aware. Keep y'all senses going. Y'all keep doing y'all. Y'all keep putting positive out into this world. Keep doing negative things, man. Cause this really is negative at the end of the day. There's no reason to be doing all this, man. Hold up, man. Ain't nothing that gonna make you a better person at the end of the day. None of it. None of it. So y'all feel me? Hit the subscribe button. It's your boy CristoReacts out. Yeah.
And I need me to do. If I ain't get paid, I ain't doing the show. Shit, I'm finna.